This is Black Cloud coming to give you news for this week as it pertains to racism and white supremacy, the machine. First off, we got students at UMass coming to a student union, packing out student union, a meeting room, because of an incident that happened last month where somebody put an N-word in a freshman dorm. They wrote a racist threat in the lobby bathroom of the freshman dorm, Melvin Hall. And supposedly a bunch of students packed it out because supposedly these students are interested in trying to deal with the issue of racism and white supremacy. I doubt that. Next up, a second bar in Pennsylvania accused of racism after a black patron asked to leave. The second time. This is the second time in many months in Luzerne County, Pennsylvania. They asking black people to leave the bar. Right here we got California students, California high schoolers are accused of racism after spelling out the N-word with t-shirts for their senior picture. They pretty much what the report says that they knew the guidelines and they knew exactly what they were doing. They knew the guidelines. They knew they weren't supposed to be spelling this word out. They knew that they were supposed to be spelling words that were appropriate. See, but they spelled out the N-word. This is what they chose to do. These are high schoolers. This is the next generation that's doing this. 10 of them. 10 students. California. They were already given pre-approved words, so they knew right from wrong. They weren't ignorant. And then they posted it online, put it on Snapchat and Twitter. Here we go. How about this? New evidence confirming bias of father of scientific racism, Samuel Morton. He's one of the architects of the categorizing racial categories of white, yellow man, black man, and red man, and Asian and Negroid, Mongoloid. He's the originator of that. But they found some notes where it shows his quote unquote bias. But as far as I know, it's racism. It's not bias, it's racism. There's no basis whatsoever to hold Morton up as a scientist we should look back on with reverence or respect. This is what they finding out, that he was a racist. And his whole reason for doing his experiments was to solidify the system of racist white supremacy in the scientific community. This is what they found. Black residents cite environmental racism in Alabama. This is Uniontown, Alabama. Essentially, in Uniontown, Alabama, they got coal ash, a fire coal plant, and they also got a landfill. And the town is 84% black. And they got all this stuff dumping in their city. They got asthma problems, they got skin rashes and all this stuff. And they dumping it in all sorts of places in their town. This is not just happening in Allentown, Alabama. It's happening all over the United States, environmental racism. Next up, body cam footage shows Ohio mayor police chief using N-word to describe 1970s racism. Since the June conversation recorded revealed a conversation he and Mayor Moore were having about several instances of racism he witnessed in the 1970s. One anecdote details someone who shot a lot of the windows out of the NIGGER's houses. And the mayor Moore recalling, I was uptown when those NIGGERs riled up. This is your mayor. This is your mayor in Ohio. Man who says he faced racism at work alleges he was purposely shot with a nail gun. They shooting us with nail guns. Mulvaney backs the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau official who was denying that racism even exists. This man is head of the Fair Lending Office, and he had a blog. Where he was denying that racism even existed on his blog. He says the emergence of Blankenstein's blog post has sparked pushback against the oversight of racial discrimination cases. So he's supposed to be oversight fair lending practices, but this man is denying. In 2004, he put a blog post he wrote an anonymous blog post in 2004 calling most hate crimes hoaxes and questioning whether the N-word was inherently racist. This man is over Blankenstein. This man is over the Fair Lending Office. And Mick Mulvaney says that he's gonna back him. Next up, ACLU sues the San Francisco police for claiming unchecked racism in the department. San Francisco Police Department is infected with cultural racism. That led to the arrest of 37 people, all of them African Americans, did some undercover drug buys. Evidence from 2013-15 arrests include video footage shows that police targeted blacks for selling small amounts of drugs while ignoring dealers of other races. Land of the free, home of the brave. New York City bar owner responds to racist controversy. Drag queens, LGBTQ, they sat up here and said that they didn't want blacks. They didn't want the drag queen LGBTQ a ball that they were going to have. They didn't want it to be too black. They didn't want it to be a black night. And so they had a problem with black people being on the flyer. See, the Monster Bar in NYC's Greenwich Village was charged due to worry that it looked like they were promoting a black night. And the guy was mad. So even if you LGBTQ drag queen, it don't matter. You black. Here we go. Former state rep Cobb Morris from the state of Vermont. She was a congressman, only black congressman for the state of Vermont. She says she's not running for re-election because of racism, white supremacy, harassment for being a black woman living and working in Vermont. That's it. And we know who else is from Vermont. Who do we know from Vermont? Who is it that we know that's from Vermont? Who is this? That's right. Your good old boy Bernie Sanders. He's from Vermont. So, this is the last one right here. Chicago Sun-Times. Racism rocks another department in the city of Chicago. Even after waste management email scandal. So there was an email scandal where one of Rahm Emanuel, who is the mayor of Chicago, one of his buddies was emailing, joking about black people, talking about black people in Chicago were monkeys and safari. I believe the joke was about black people being come see the safari right here. Come see the safari tickets. Chicago safari tickets. See black people get killed. This was a guy named Ferguson, who was a friend of Rahm Emanuel, Mayor Rahm Emanuel, his buddy. And so, but something else happened in the waste management where somebody took this magazine right here and put the N-word, Niggr, on this black woman's forehead and left it in the refrigerator, on the refrigerator in the break room. So your magazine with a black woman on the cover and the N-word scribbled on the woman's forehead was left on the refrigerator in an employee common area. And that was the Department of Aviation building next to O'Hare International Airport. So please subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can also catch me on Instagram, Black Cloud Speaks on Instagram, and keep following me because every week I'm gonna put up news reports on what's going on that week. So this is all pretty much, in the same 7-day period. So thanks for subscribing. Thanks for listening.